I'm in love with the color of pumpkins and plum blossoms, with trumpet vines and jasmine perfuming night, with redwood trunks and eucalyptus leaves and the migrating monarch resting her wings. I am a poet and an artist for a living in San Francisco. I run a small business called The Poetry Store. You know, as a writer, usually the career path is academic. You know, you teach at community college, you work your way up to university, you get tenured and like you write and you know, it's what you do. So I thought that's what I would do. I thought that's the course my life would take. But then after grad school, I moved to San Francisco. I just finished reading Jack Kerouac's On the Road, the Scroll edition, which he wrote on one long piece of paper on the typewriter. And you know, so I just moved to San Francisco and I love to meet poets, and I was like, you know what I need is a typewriter to not be distracted from the internet. And because I think if I wasn't a poet, I would be a sculptor. Like, I feel like my work lives in my hands. And so the typewriter was like the perfect instrument for doing something tactile, but also writing and not having the distraction of the internet. I was thinking about what it's like to be an artist in San Francisco. You know, I was in an event surrounded by artists, and when I started doing this, I was paying less than $500 in rent to live in a house with 3 other people.
We are fighting for deciding what kind of city we are. Are we the kind of city that will simply roll out the red carpet to the big corporations? And are we the kind of city that will require that you be a multi-millionaire to live in San Francisco?
No. I am currently living in a house with 3 other people, and I pay $1,300 a month. And by like today's city standards for like how beautiful this place is, where the location is, you know, that there's a bit of a yard and a garage, like it's a steal, which is kind of insane.
Or are we a city that allows working people, poor people, middle income people to have a place to live in San Francisco? Yeah. That's the kind of city we are. You know, I see my good friend and hero, Mr. Yanez here, Rene Yanez, an artist who also is facing eviction. I want to give him a big round of applause.
And that doesn't include studio rent, that doesn't include all the other bills, that doesn't include food, it doesn't include like having some semblance of a life, wanting to travel or own bunnies or whatever, you know. And it's been really hard and sad to see many of my artist friends being priced out of the city. And not just priced out, but not having places to like take their work anymore. It's like there's a devaluation of if you don't meet me on like my financial level, then I'm not interested, you know, which is really bizarre because these are the same people who, when I'm at a party working this thing, they're like, oh, you're the best thing I've ever seen. And I'm like, you're pricing me out of my home. You know, it's really weird. It's this very weird mix of things. San Francisco is home because I don't have home elsewhere. Like, I often joke that my family history is like the Spanish telenovela that would never air because it's too dramatic. You know, in short, like, my parents are dead and never felt connected to my hometown. I got out of there as soon as I possibly could. I've never looked back. And when I came to San Francisco, I just felt this sense of, oh, this is my place, like my people are here. Oh, this is what it feels like to belong somewhere, where you like, I don't know, it's even small things like just the, you know, like walking down the street and being able to choose between like 5 different kinds of ethnic food, or stumble upon an art gallery, or like, you know, 16th and Mission used to do like poetry readings on Friday nights, like that there's just like people doing things, interested in stuff. Like, you know, I come from a town where like not a lot of people read books, and it's just like it makes a difference to be surrounded by people who read books and watch films. But mostly San Francisco is home because all of the nature that's here. I feel like I can be in a really city place that feels like a small town that also feels like no one else in the world exists.